Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, back with another crypto video. And if this video can hit 500 likes within 24 hours, we're giving away $50 worth of crypto. All you gotta do to enter is to press the like button, comment something down below, and have the notification bell on. Now guys, also make sure you check out my second channel called Dusty Finance. A link for that is in the description below. So guys, for a very long amount of time, people have been asking me if I like the 589 predictions, if I'm a believer in the Ripple XRP riddles, if I'm a believer in Bearable Guy 123, if I think these riddles hurt the price of XRP, if I think it hurts the Ripple image, so on and so forth. Now, for a very long time, I've tried to really stay away from these predictions, not let myself get attached to it, but now, after a very long while of ignoring it, I started to notice that even though the original $589 per XRP price prediction was supposed to be for the end of 2018 and it didn't happen, there's still thousands upon thousands of people who believe in this price prediction and really like the videos that discuss it or talk about it. So today, I want to talk to you guys about if these $589 price predictions are actually hurting the XRP price right now. And plain up simply, I do kind of think so. Now, if we have actually looked at the price and look at any of the theories that people have placed online or anywhere, you can see that XRP has been on a pretty long downtrend. Again, I'm actually very much pro XRP. I like XRP, I hold XRP, right? You've seen tons of videos on my channel about it. So yes, I do like XRP. This video is not meant in a negative way. I'm just giving you guys a little bit of a theory here. XRP is 10 days away from a 589-day downtrend of consecutive lower highs. I have a bag. This long, flat base can lead to an explosive end-of-year target at 93 cents. 589 happened, Lesson, don't buy paid groups. Stick to facts, let's get that bread. Finish strong, wait to fill up 50 cents, and it's off. A few things to talk about and to add here. Straight off the bat, $589 as a price prediction is, of course, ridiculously high and very hard to achieve. Now, what I think it has done for a lot of these community members is that it either has gotten them to buy in way more than they could have or could afford to do, or it has gotten a lot of people in with some money that expected a quick, crazy return on investment, and when they didn't realize, they went against the XP community, went to go, on the exact opposite side of being against it, being hating, and talking shit about it. I think that's one of the simplest consequences to see, but here is another way to interpret the whole situation. It could also have been, again, at the end, that 589 was never a price prediction, but was just going to be talking about, lower highs. It could have been. And then after 589 days of lower highs, we're just going to flip over and go all the way to the moon. Right? I mean, it could be something like that. But right, let's forget about the 589 in the day sense for a little bit. It could also be, since we also got to cover that side, that 589 has actually done a lot of good for the community. A couple of facts for that. 1. The community got closer together, as 589 predictors and riddlers have all, picked up theories and thought about theories and shared them with each other and had a whole big conversations, big threads going about kind of figuring everything out. It really does something good for the community because you're working together or to figuring out something. That's one side. Second of all, it got some people some hope again in the crypto space. After the big 2017-2018 rally of cryptocurrencies, the whole sentiment got pretty depressing, and a lot of people in the community were not that happy with holding again. They were really kind of sad with their bags, and they might have gotten a little bit dipped down, in terms of motivation to hold through these times. And the 589 prediction, the 589 fund, might have actually done a very big amount of good because it put some enthusiasm again in a lot of these holders that were sick and tired of all these low prices. It gave them something to look forward to hope for. And if you guys have actually checked out my document ever on the retirement plan, again, if you're looking at these high prices, like for example right here, if you're looking at them in a sheet or somewhere else, you can see that it's so easy to become so rich with just a small amount of XRP. Here, if you only have 5k XRP and it goes to $589, you have almost $3 million. So you can definitely understand why to a lot of people this is so tempting to believe in. It can also be such a motivator for you to hodl because there's some other gurus or people that you attach value to, people that you trust, who are saying that 589 can be achievable at some point in the future. And yeah, I mean, that's a gain of like times 1,500 your money or something like that. So I can understand 1,600 or 1,700 even can understand why you then are more motivated to hodl. A third point, and a little bit of a weird point to make, of course, on the whole situation, is that it is a little bit of good, a little bit of bad, because it is doing kind of both of the things that I just mentioned. So it is doing the good parts, like I just said, about hyping the community up, getting them good together, and the bad part of what the consequences of that are, that if you hype them up, they get let down because it doesn't occur, right? So I don't know if I should place it as a third point or as a negative point. It's kind of a neutral one, right? Because every good consequence of 589ers predictions and everything have their bad sides. Again, the hype has a bad side and a good side because it makes people hold. The community bonding has a good side and a bad side because on the one hand, you're making people bond with the community. On the other side, you're making people waste their time, and people don't like to get their time wasted, which again might turn towards hate towards the community. So again, we're actually pretty much double-sided. Now here's a tweet from Colonel XRP, who has a bearable guy 123 sort of logo. He says, another thing, cut out these XRP TA guys. There are a few of them with their moon glasses on saying the same thing every day and nothing happens. TA doesn't work unless Bitcoin allows it to work. Chase profits, there's no overnight 589. TA guys are dumb. Goosenecks. A few things that I have to place out here is that TA and 589 overnight predictions are something very much different. Technical analysis is literally looking at what happens in the market, explaining it with some theories and with literal technical analysis, how do you say, with indicators, so to speak, with your whatever metrics that you can place in it, and you can interpret it in any way that you would like. I mean, there's a couple of standards interpretation ways, but you can interpret it in every way or sense that you want to. There's a difference, though, between literal TA and kind of fictional TA. Even though it is both correct, as you can always do your technical analysis the way you want it, it will always stay valid. It's just a different interpretation, a different prediction, even though they're all valid. Maybe not that logical or that realistic, but they're valid. There's also a kind of taking it out of proportion and TAing it all the way to the moon, right? So I can draw a trend line right here, a very stupid one, that goes like this. And I just go on an exponential scale, and I just draw it like that's what XRP is going to do. You know, I just start my trend line here, go through these 2 points, and just make it go all the way to the moon. Why is it possible? Because you can do anything that you want in TA. It's just what you attach value to. And that's why this person most likely says that TA people are dumb, because there's a lot of people in the crypto space and even in the financial space everywhere that actually draw TA that does not make sense, leaving you to believe something too profitable, too good to be true, and leaving you with losses. Now, in the Discord chat, wherefore there's a link in the description below, we actually do not do this type of stuff, so we literally give you guys exactly what's gonna happen according to our minds in a more realistic spectrum. We're not really giving you guys some of these hopeful scenarios, some of these longer term, again, Mooney, rich almost overnight, maybe a couple of weeks scenarios. No, we're really giving you guys what we expect to happen on a more micro scale. But again, 589 predictions overnight. If you see any one of them, just ignore them, just keep going on. If you see one person saying, it's going to go to $589 in 7 years or in 5 years because of this, and then they draw a very cool, regression theory or whatever, you can attach value to. Maybe they have a very good idea behind it, and that is always worth it to at least give a quick little look at. But if they say it in the span of a couple of months, yeah, I'm never really a fan of that myself, but maybe you are. I think it's just hurting. Because again, it just leads people to the wrong things. Something else though, I'm sure it'll be worth at least 589 one day. So again, why I think these 589 predictions are to a certain extent kind of good and can be good and can actually be not that harmful is because they also add some fun. Again, like the person's bio, I think, it says your fun riddles and facts XRP. Now, fun is something that you don't necessarily correlate with the crypto community or crypto in general. Cryptocurrency is mostly difficult and really stressful and sort of illegal how some people view it. Fun is not really the first word you would combine it with. Now, me personally, of course I would, but a lot of persons, they won't. And what the 589 can do is really make the crypto space a lot more kind of childish, kind of more accessible, since 589 sounds so crazy and makes people loosen up a little bit instead of being at these 1 cent targets every single minute, changing everything. No, they're here just looking at the grand scheme of things in a fun way, and it's actually a little bit more realistic to a certain extent than you might think, because 589 for the cryptocurrency within the span of years to come actually, to me, sounds like a very far-fetched, very far away, but possibility still. I'm never gonna be excluding it from, again, ever happening. Oh, I must so watch out with my words because people are gonna hate this video like crazy. Oh, I'm already cringing because if I'm gonna see all those hate comments, all the dislikes. But again, if you're enjoying this video, make sure you press the like button. But if you are seeing the letters that Ripple's writing, you've seen the progress that Ripple's been making, and you see the utility that XRP is getting or is going to get, specifically combined with such big events like SWOW and the Fed now example, those things that can be happening that are kind of speculational because we don't know exactly what's going on, but we know that they're sort of coming. At least there's good news about those things coming. Yeah, you know, those prices that are really higher up, again, 589 might be a bit extraordinarily, but really, higher prices do not sound that crazy to me. First thing you must keep in mind for yourself, though, is yes, 35 cents, 50 cents, 75 cents are all price targets that we need to hit first. So really speculating about a price that is above 50 cents is actually pretty useless. Not needed, right? Because there's going to be one very, 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 very smart person who's going to be commenting, XRP is going to go to 0, or yeah, XRP needs to go to 50 cents first, we're only at 30 cents. You're very smart. Yes, we do. But there's a couple of things added to that as well. One, we do need to go to 50 cents first, but the question of when that's going to happen is a complete mystery. So, 50 cents, $500. I know there's a very big difference between those. Very big one. But still, they're both a mystery since you just can never know for sure. Second, is that BTC needs to make its big move first before XRP is going to ever get to 50 cents. Again, XRP is going to follow BTC like it has always done and will do once more. And third, and mostly the important one, is that you don't ever really know how much a rally goes for. So let's say this new rally that we just talked about in point 2, Bitcoin goes first and XRP follows. Is it going to go for times 2? Is it going to go for times 10? Is it going to go for times 20? Is it going to go for times 50? In any bull run, we just see some different percentages. And this case, again, it all depends on how much BTC gains. It all depends on how much of a duration it has. And a lot of new things. Again, we're not basing this bull run on hype anymore. We're basing it on utility, hopefully. So we might go with a crazy increase of times 700, when the new big quote-unquote bull run does hit once more. We just don't know. So again, talking only about 50 cents is a beginning because yes, we do need to hit it first, but you also need to wonder for yourself what's going to happen next. Again, you're not always looking for just the first step in your whole big plan. You're also trying to plan ahead a little bit. Otherwise, nobody would save up for their retirement since, oh, my retirement is only in 40 years. No, I don't need to save up for that. My retirement is in 20 years. I'm not 60 yet, 67. I don't know how old you have to be in whatever country you are in. Depends on every country. You retire all the way up front, or at least you try to save up for your retirement all the way up front, because that makes it all a lot simpler. And predicting your prices up front is the only way you can predict them, again, because otherwise you're seeing them. And if you're not prepared for another price, you might be completely bamboozled when it does hit. And even though most of the time you're predicting way more positively than it actually goes, it's something just that adds some fun, some looseness, some kiddiness, sort of, to the community. And also, again, I don't think it can hurt too much for any individual with some common sense. Again, that's a very important part of it all as well. Shout out to Delatine. Hey, Ripple XRP, can I get a boom? Everyone will what? Use XRP. Get your crypto mind right. Don't lie to yourself and get your reserves at the discount prices. As always, this is not financial advice. In a new interview with Global Trader Review, Delatine highlights the use case for XRapid and the impact it could have on cross-border remittances, especially in countries where it's slower and more expensive to move capital. XRapid went live last October, so it's a very new product, but we have more than 20 financial institutions already using it. When talking with banks, we still have to ensure that they understand that using this product is not around keeping XRP on their balance sheets. That's very important for the banks to understand because they would otherwise have to report that to the regulators, and it would also be a lot of a more scary step for them. So there's still a lot of education, but what is apparent with the regional banks and also the payment service providers is that they are hungry for change and for having a competitive edge. This part is what makes it so important. They want to have a competitive edge, and with Ripple/XRP/XRapid, you can really get this competitive edge because there's so many other players who are afraid or bound like they have some boundaries why they're not using it yet. And by being one of the first in the industry or first in your sector to adopt or use it, you're definitely getting yourself a competitive edge, leaving the others with no other option but to either use it as well or perish. That's really the driver, being able to source on-demand liquidity and providing a real-time experience in terms of cross-border payments. For some difficult corridors, for instance the Mexican peso and the Philippine peso, a transaction currently takes 3 to 4 days because the underlying process is still archaic. And again, that's what XRP is supposed to fix. Everyone will what? Use XRP. And again, that's where 589 comes in. That's where a lot of people base their theories on, because the utility is so insanely good. And again, this is not my personal prediction. This is what I've read on the internet, just so you know. Because the XRP utility is so good, we cannot even imagine prices that they're going to go towards. Why I'm saying that so specifically is because $589 per XRP, if you do that times the amount of coins that are circulating, you're going to come to a very crazy number in market cap. But what it's supposed to say, it's supposed to kind of show us, is that utility in this form we have never seen before. It's a totally new era, new technology, new way of living with the cryptocurrencies. It's going to show us things that were not possible beforehand, and thus market caps that are this insane will be possible from that point. Again, that's a theory, not my own. I just read it somewhere. This week in crypto, the fact Walmart wants to create a stablecoin on top of XRP. Somebody replied to that by saying, after Facebook, Walmart is now launching a USD-backed stablecoin. According to recent patent filing, is their second shot. Unlike Facebook's Libra, Walmart coin can be used to earn interest on saving deposits. Right, so wanted to mention with showing you guys this here is first of all because it was a reply to one of the XRP guys, and I think I got tagged in this, otherwise I would not have seen it, most likely. But also what is so important about this situation is because there's so many other currencies or companies that are going to be trying to replicate or trying to outdo XRP. And there's definitely going to be a little bit of a war going on in maybe a couple of years to see who's going to be the #1 coin or company to really arrange all these cross-border payments around the world, to really be able to create on-demand liquidity the best and all of that. But we should not forget that Ripple now has a very big edge on all of these newer companies as well. Ripple has been in the game for such a long while, they have such a great vision, and it's really what they do. So for a lot of these other companies like Facebook and Walmart and some other bigger players that are trying to create coins or trying to do the same as Ripple has been doing, okay, not saying that they are, but they have some big coins. They have a coin just as they have a small department that's trying to fix blockchain or cryptocurrencies, but the whole vision of their company has almost nothing to do with the coin itself or the project that they're involving themselves with. Ripple is all about what they're doing right this second, right now, what we're seeing. So really there's a big difference in focus and also a big difference in the core of the company. And that is also a big difference in terms of how quickly they can get to where they want, and also how much trust we should place in them. As for Walmart, this could just be another cash grab in the literal form. Again, I'm not saying it is, or I'm not saying even this development was important or useful whatsoever, because it's not really crypto if it's just a stable coin. I'm not considering stable coins as real cryptocurrencies in the form that we're talking about in these types of videos. But for example, Facebook's Libra, it's pretty interesting to compare Facebook's Libra to Ripple sometimes. Ripple price analysis, XRP records 20-month low against BTC, where's the bottom? And that actually correlates with one of the articles that we saw right here, this one right now, that XRP has been going downhill for a very long time, and especially against BTC, we've been going down for a even longer time. This one here is, here it is. This one is XRP to USD on a 3-day basis. And again, depends on what chart you're looking at it from. Otherwise, it does not look like lower highs all the time. Even here, it does not look like it all the way. So it's a little bit of, fabricated. But on a BTC standpoint, yeah, it definitely does look a lot like it as well. And another point to make with the situation is that this is all kind of artificial. So people are making these charts, in this case on the 1 day, so it's quite legit. People are trying to make these charts look in the way that they want to. They're going to crop it so, it looks exactly like what they want to. They're going to draw some lines to make it look more like what people want to show you. And you most of the time get a little bit of a wrong vision, wrong idea about the current stance of the cryptocurrency. What I always recommend you guys to do is whenever you're reading a technical analysis article or price analysis article, or you want to look at how the coin is doing, just look up a chart yourself and try to interpret first what you think has been going on, on a couple of time frames. And if you see somebody say it like here, like saying, oh, XRP to BTC has been in a downtrend, just look it up on the chart yourself on a bigger spectrum, right? And try to change these time frames as well. Not only do 1 day, but maybe 4 days as well, and maybe even maybe half a day or whatever you want to do, 2 days, and just try to see how it all plays out over a longer scheme of things, right? Because here, it all depends on perspective. It all depends on, how long you take it for. Because this one has only been made from maybe the beginning of April, maybe some other date. I don't know. I think it's beginning of April. Some people say it's not long enough to really show something because BTC has been doing this or BTC has been doing that. Yada, 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 guys. And I'm always looking at it and worrying myself with things. But really, now that I'm getting into this space, like, it's maturing. And I'm noticing that XRP to BTC is not as important as some people might take it out to be. With XRP to BTC, we're just waiting for another big run. And the longer downtrend here does not matter for the grand scheme of things here. It's just for one bigger run that BTC is having right now, right? That's right here, most likely. And afterwards, BTC stops running and altcoin season takes over, which means there's going to be a lot of green candles after each other, maybe like 4 with a very big markup. So again, you can be looking at this like all depressed and whatever, but if you look at it from a bigger scheme of things and historical perspective, you see that even 10 red candles after each other will be followed by one green candle going over them all, engulfing all of them, which means they were all kind of useless, even though they're not. I mean, sort of. So yeah, let's quickly go to the next one. 20 exchange CMC adjusted volume list XRP. Dobi, a cryptocurrency exchange with offices in Hong Kong, has announced the addition of XRP onto its platform. Again, I thought I should quickly mention it. I forgot about it all the way, so I thought I should quickly mention. Chinese yuan falls sharply, sending BTC, Ethereum, and XRP LTC soaring. Chinese yuan has been falling. There's been a lot of conspiracies, a lot of ideas, a lot of theories about China-US wars, China-US kind of propaganda, China-US situation going on that is making these cryptocurrencies look a lot more like a store of value than before. Also, with the Chinese yuan dropping, there have been tons of speculators saying that the Chinese are massively buying into these cryptos as store of value, yet others are saying it's just speculators from America trying to make it look like that is the way, and some others are saying some other fabricated stuff. One thing I know is that we have no official info on the situation. All we know is that Chinese yuan has fallen quite a little bit, and some of these other cryptocurrencies are soaring a little bit. If there's a direct correlation, we don't know. We just know that it's been going on. And one thing that I found really quite interesting is, should Ripple burn 50% of its XRP supply to pump its price? I'll be talking about that later today, guys. I bought a little bit of theories about getting the supply of coins down and what the effects of that are. But now quickly, let's look at this. This chart shows you the perfect moment to buy Bitcoin. Willy Woo says, introducing the Bitcoin difficulty ribbon. When the ribbon compresses or flips negative, these are the best times to buy in and get exposure to Bitcoin. The ribbon consists of simple moving averages on mining difficulty, so we can easily see the rate of change in difficulty. This has been a very interesting metric for a very long time. But one thing I want to quickly add to buying Bitcoin, buying any other thing, buying XRP, is that you should almost always layer your buys. Never just buy all of your coins at one point and then get out. It is actually possible to get 3 times as much coins out of your money if you just wait a little bit. My personal proposition for you is buy at one point that you're comfortable with. Buy quite a big chunk, right? So if we go to the moon right out then and there after you bought, a second afterwards, you're not going to be disappointed. But also make sure you got some left for if the price does go down to just be able to buy yourself a little bit more. And again, I'm not trying to say like, oh, just go like only 10% up front and layer all the way down, because that might end in you not having enough crypto that you would like to have. But make sure you do not buy everything at one chunk, because with cryptocurrencies, most of the time the price does go lower than where you bought at, depending, of course, on what exactly you do. Maybe you're very stupid and buy it exactly when the run is already started and it's just going up. You bought at one of the stupid lower points, it just keeps continuing on with the trend and never going down again. Could be. Otherwise, you might have bought at the bottom, and it just keeps continuing on. There's a lot of big things that could happen, which means you can never buy anymore. So just make sure you're comfortable with it at the first start, but I would suggest to keep some left for timing. This is only with crypto though, not with traditional stocks. With traditional stocks, I'm recommending to just buy in, forget, don't go try to time it, because most of the time it doesn't work. The best time to buy Bitcoin. According to Willy Woo's analysis, the perfect moment to accumulate Bitcoin is when the difficulty ribbon compresses, gets very thin, or flips negative when the strong dark line crosses above the weaker lines, as shown below right here. You can see it pretty obviously. The Bitcoin difficulty ribbon accurately predicted the best moment to start accumulating Bitcoin in early 2019, before a 200% run-up. The indicator accurately predicted the bottom of the market in late 2018, early 2019. Smart investors should have started accumulating at this point because many hedge funds were. It's a data-driven confirmation of a decades-old investment strategy. Buy when there's blood in the streets. In other words, you buy assets when others are fearful and sell when they are greedy. And here's some more explanation on what exactly it is. But I want to keep this video under 45 minutes, so I'm not going to go all the way into explaining all of this. You should check it out though, as it is quite an interesting metric and it does work very well. Guys, that was it for this video. Hopefully you did all enjoy. Make sure you press the like button if you did. Also, make sure you check out my second channel called Dusty Finance. And if you do not agree with my 589 theory about it hurting the price, because still to quickly conclude, I do think it has some very negative effects on the price because people will be kind of discouraged by the price predictions. People will be upset. People will turn towards hating XRP. But on the contrary, it also livens it up, kind of puts some enthusiasm in it, kind of puts some fun, attaches some kiddiness to it all, kind of tightens the community together, so it really has both sides of the gun or story. Do you think it will really happen? Not anytime soon. Do you think it's cool to have it in there though? Definitely, guys. If it entertains a lot of people, then why not? Thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video. If you don't like my theories, make sure you comment down below. I will look into all your comments.